Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another one of our awesome tech videos. I am Paige Libbert. I'm one of the consumer technology specialists here at Mid-Continent Public Library. And today we are going to explore LinkedIn Learning for Library. It is an odd name, but I swear it is an awesome resource. If you have been using our online resources for quite a while, you will recognize LinkedIn Learning for Library more as lynda.com. They recently underwent a name change, so it is still a familiar resource, but with a little bit of a change. So we're just going to do an update, basically. So what you're going to need a computer or a mobile device. You will need an internet connection. This can be wired, wireless, mobile data, whatever you have. If you are using our internet at our branches, either in the parking lot or in the building itself, you may need your access pass and your PIN. And you will actually need some login credentials for LinkedIn Learning for Library, which you can use through your MCPL Access Pass, as well as just creating your own account. So with that, we're going to immediately just go hop into the resource and do some exploring. All right, so here we are. We are on the MCPL main webpage. This, I hope, is familiar to several of you. This is where you go to get all over all of our different resources. So for LinkedIn Learning for Library, we just go over here to Research and Learning, which is where my mouse is kind of going berserk. And now this one is going to be kind of tucked into a lot of different spots. So finding it is really not too complicated. You can, of course, always go to the A to Z list and just click on L, scroll till you find LinkedIn Learning for Library. You can also go to the Browse Subjects. This is going to be separated by a variety of different subjects, but likely going to be tucked into most of them, if not all. I am actually going to go to Online Learning. This is just where I tend to go if I'm doing anything vaguely educational or education-based. If I want to learn a new skill, this is probably going to be my tab. So you can see LinkedIn Learning for Library is right here, along with several other educational-based resources. So I'm just going to click on LinkedIn Learning. And so when you first get in here, it does take you to this little splash page of getting started. I'm going to click on that and unpopulate it from my email. Get everything typed in. So this is just your library card number and your regular PIN. So that's why I said you're going to need both pieces. And then with that, we are logged in. You can see, well, you can see the whole site. We're just going to kind of go from left to right across the top, and then we'll do some exploring down here in the middle, kind of in between. So right here at the very top, you can see that the In Learning and the LinkedIn Learning logo is clickable. This will show up throughout the site as you're going. If you click on that, it'll just kind of basically bring you to your home page. Next up, we've got the Browse. So if I click on that, it's going to take you to all of the different things and like subjects that you could search through. Over here, you can see that it is business, and then there's also creative. So if you're looking for something creative, and then there is technology. So this is where you're going to go if you want to learn new tech skills. This is also a great place if you want to learn how to code. There's a lot of stuff in there. So you can click on specifically programming languages and go from there. We will come back to that here in a little bit. And you can see, as I promised, this stuff has just stayed here. It just stays at the top of the screen, so you can go play with it whenever you need to. You have a search function. It does give you the option to browse by topic, which is essentially what we were just in over here. You can also do some trending, so it does try to give you things that are currently trending, people that are already searching for stuff while using LinkedIn Learning for Library or just LinkedIn Learning in general. So you can see some of the things that are currently popular, but you can also search for whatever you want. So if you want to search for Java, the coding language, you can do that. And you can do a really quick search and find all kinds of stuff. Since we are here, I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you some of the ways that you can filter. You can see here, I can actually filter out to different languages. So if I maybe want to learn Java while also doing it in simplified Chinese, I can click on that and it's going to narrow down my search results to a surprising number. Actually, I almost figured there would be none. Turns out there's 8. So you can do that if you want. I'm going to stick with English because aside from sarcasm, it is the only language I know. As we go down the list, you can see that it is content by LinkedIn Learning. There are a few times where it's going to bring up stuff outside of LinkedIn Learning for Library. So you could narrow it down that way. Right now, it is the same number, so there's not really much point. Over here, there is the type. So there's courses, videos, and learning paths. And that is actually super important. There are these different types of I'll go with classes. It's not quite the right word, but I'm going to go with classes in here. So the courses are going to be almost like a course, like a college course, a high school course, something along those lines. So it is curated content that is all kind of put together in like one big course. So it's going to walk you through several different videos and assignments and things like that. So it says there's 178 courses. There's 4,790 individual videos. So you can see over here in the list, it's course, 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 course. But as I scroll down for quite a ways, probably, eventually it won't have that course at the top. It may just say video, may say something along those lines. So within each of these courses, sorry for the scrolling, within each of these courses, there are a ton of individual videos. So you can kind of imagine with 4,790 individual videos and only 178 courses, there's probably quite a few videos in each particular course. And so over here, you can see that this is 2 hours and 39 minutes, 1 hour and 55 minutes. So you can kind of see and get an idea of maybe how many videos might be in there, or at least how long it is estimated to take you. That's usually the amount of time the videos accumulate to, not just an estimate of how long it's going to take you. Now the learning path, go ahead and click on that so you can narrow it down. You can see, again, it says learning path. And this takes you through several courses, as you can see here. So I went ahead and clicked on it so you can kind of see. So each learning path is a collection of courses, which are then a collection of videos, that you can take to become a really skilled programmer in Java. So you have all kinds of different things that you can go and play with, but these are specific learning paths that then do the courses, which then include all of the videos. I hope I did not confuse you guys more with that, but it's a super kind of nice way to do it. So if you're just going in for something real quick, like that you were looking for something very specific within Java, maybe you need one little thing, you need a reminder of how to use, I don't know, Spring Boot. You could do Java, you do a search up here in the top for Java and then maybe Spring Boot, and then you could just do individual videos at that point and then go from there. And you could just have your quick little reminder. But if you're wanting to learn parts of it, but you don't really want to do like, I'm going to go do this for a profession, you're just curious about it, maybe you do a course. But if you're like, I'm going to do this as a profession, that's maybe where the learning path comes in. So it's really cool. It's nice that you can kind of organize that way. And then as we go kind of continue down the row, you can see that there's level. So you can do beginner, intermediate, and advanced. You can sort by time to complete. So if you're like, I have no time, you can do 10 minutes. Now you can see that this number is huge. And that is because so many of these courses are made up of individual videos that are actually fairly short. Now the videos themselves, particularly for things where you're learning a skill, not so much like a soft skill, but an actual like doing it skill, may take a little bit longer than the video itself. So the video may only be 2 or 3 minutes long, but then there's the practice portion of it that may not be included in the video time. So take these timings with a grain of salt. You have your software, so if you want to learn anything specific there, you can navigate down. Depending on what you have searched for, these things may be different. Right now, software makes sense because we're talking about software programming. There is subjects and topics, so if you want something specific, you can also do your custom tags, which we didn't do any, and any sources, which we didn't mess with those as well. So you have lots of options over here. And then over here on the right-hand side, you have your best match, your view count, and your newest. So depending on how you want to sort these, you can do that as well. So that's search and kind of working within the search function. I'm going to come back and kind of explore the classes here in a second. So again, you have your home button, which basically has the same function as the in learning over here on the side. So I'm just going to click home, and we are back on the home page. You have your My Learning. So if you are logged in, which I am, once you've created an account, it kind of keeps track of everything that you're doing. So My Learning. And you can see that we have 65 classes in progress. It sounds really, really bad, but part of that is because we use this account to test classes for other things, and all of the library has access to this. So may not have been just me or one other person doing this. So we have all kinds of classes that are in progress. You can see using this kind of estimate of time left, as well as you can kind of see with the bar your kind of completion rate on that one. We also have 200 saved videos, so these are things that we are going to come back to, or maybe we finished and we would like to look at again. We have our collections. So these are going to be kind of the generic computer collection. We basically created playlists, if that makes any sense. So up here you can click new, create new collection, and you can add all kinds of courses and videos and things to it to kind of create your own personalized learning path or course, or just a playlist of things to go back through and check out. But super handy, especially since you can edit it, you can delete them from there. We'll go ahead and click on this generic computer one so you can kind of see. You can share these out. So you can actually create these sort of learning paths or courses for yourself, but also share it out to other people if you want to. Right now, ours is visible only to us. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to click on learning history. So these are things that we have completed. See that the one was completed fairly recently, actually. But we have other ones that have been completed in the relatively distant past. And then your skills. So these are skills that we said that we are interested in. You can remove things and add things at will here as well. So super nice. Next thing down the line is your notifications. Right now we are all caught up. So if we have classes that we haven't really messed with it for a while, it's possible that we'll get notifications, or if we've kind of put an alert somewhere to be like, hey, if this class pops up or if there's a new version of this, let us know. We could get that. In the settings here, I'm going to click on that. You can see the kind of notifications that we're going to get. So it's going to be recommendations and then any future discovery. Right now, everything's on, but there's just not much going on. So let's go back. I'm going to go ahead and go back home. This time I clicked the in learning just so you can see it did the same thing. Next thing down the line is the me. See, if you have a profile picture, it's going to show up. Otherwise, it just says me. You can see the Mid-Continent Public Library. That is just letting letting LinkedIn itself know that this is, like, we have access to this through the library. You have the same kind of stuff as what was under the My Learning, so your progress, your saved, your collections, your learning history, and your skills. You can also come in here and tinker with your language. You can do your settings, help center, so if you run into something that you just don't know what to do or how to get around, or you just need some general help using it and this video doesn't cover it for you, their help center is spectacular and pretty responsive. So get lots of information. And then, of course, you can sign out. So remember to sign out when you're done. Go ahead and click on settings so you can see. So you have your notification settings. This is going to be your notifications on LinkedIn Learning. So that's going to be the things that pop up here where my mouse is freaking out. You can also do your notification settings for LinkedIn or for your email. So these are going to be emails and things that LinkedIn Learning for Library can send to you. And you can adjust what happens. And then, of course, you can adjust your consumption preferences, which for right now is just going to be your language. And for most of us, it is probably going to be English. You can also do that right here next to your me. You can pick out any of the languages they have. They don't have too many. What is that, 8? They do have 7. I can count 7 options. But you do have that as an option to go and check that out as well. So I'm going to go back home real quick. So now that we've kind of gone through the top, I'm going to take you through some of the things here. At the very top, you always have this little kind of featured thing. It's going to show you new programs, updated programs, new and popular features. These will change periodically, so don't count on that always being at the very top. Something may change out depending on what is popular at the time. You can set yourself goals. So if you are going to be using this fairly frequently, you can set yourself a goal of however often. Maybe you want to complete a class within a certain amount of time. You can set that goal, and LinkedIn Learning for Library will track it for you. You get a kind of brief picture of the things that you have in progress. Most people are probably not going to have 65 programs in progress. We're just special. But you can see how many you have in progress, and then some of the ones that you've most recently tinkered with usually are the ones that show up here. And then your saved will also give you the 2 that you have probably most recently messed with. And then you can go in and show all from there. And then as you scroll down, you'll get some of these, I'm going to call them rivers. Everybody calls them different things. But you'll have these little rivers of options. So this is the top picks for you. This is based on our searches and things that we have worked with class-wise, things that we've saved, so we can go through that. They're just kind of suggestions for classes that we may enjoy later on. We can scroll through and eventually it'll give us the show all option. You also have a river for the things that are currently popular on LinkedIn Learning. Now, this is not just LinkedIn Learning for Library, it is LinkedIn Learning as a whole. So while it is it is also the same sort of setup. LinkedIn Learning is through LinkedIn, the website. It is usually some options through there, possibly paid, depends on the day and the product. But we have a subscription to it, so you have access to it, but it is slightly different, which is why it is LinkedIn Learning for Library. But this is based on kind of all those metrics from all of their different LinkedIn Learning resources. So these are things that are popular right now. Scrolling down, you can see the trends for people in our industry. You can set your industry in your settings or when you're creating your accounts. Generally, it's just going to be based on your searches and things that you have tried to learn. You can see the general trends, things that are trending right now. And then, of course, there's going to be suggestions because maybe you follow something or you've taken a class. Because we follow video production, you can see that that's what's kind of popping up down there. At the very bottom, you just find all of the information about LinkedIn itself, as well as LinkedIn Learning and LinkedIn Learning for Library. So if you want to find out a whole bunch of the information, you can. And if you have a particular skill that is extremely useful, or that you feel would be useful for folks, there is an option to learn how to become an instructor for LinkedIn Learning. So that is kind of the nutshell of navigation. Now I'm going to come back up here and I'm going to go ahead and do a search. This time we'll just do library. And you can see still a ridiculously large number of things. Not much has changed. We do have audio now as well as a type. So if we do that, these are going to just be kind of audio files. So there's not video involved. It's just audio. So there may be some other things that pop up in there, but for the most part, that's what you're going to see. You can see that this time there's almost 1,300 courses. There's still only 5 learning paths, and there's almost 9,000 videos. So lots and lots and lots of options. We're going to go ahead and just click on this one. We are already in progress on it, which is, you can see that there and the amount of time that we have left. It threw that one to the top because it is one that we are already in, but we could scroll down and pick a new one if we want to. In terms of what you see in this search page as you're searching for classes, you can see that it's a course, a video. As I scroll down, you may see video learning path, you may see audio, depending on these types that are over here in the options. If we had content coming from somewhere else, this may not say in our LinkedIn Learning. It may say somebody else. You can see the instructor for this particular set of videos. If it is a single video, it's also going to have that, but if it is a course, generally those are going to be all done by the same instructor. You can see when it was done, so this one is from July of 2015. Again, because we've already done this one, or started this one, we have time left. If it is one that we have not done yet, there's a little bit more information down here on the bottom, so you can see that there have been, for this particular set unique permissions for a library, there have been about 3,000 learners. If I scroll down a little bit further, you can see this providing legendary customer service, almost 16,000 learners, and then you can see some of the skills that are associated with this particular class. And then over here, you have your little 3-dot menu. You can add it to a collection if you want to, so you can create a new collection or add it to one that is already in existence, or you can save it for later. So you just click save. That's all it is. You can unsave it, and it will just add it to that list of saved videos that you had. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just click on this one and immediately stop it. So your videos will autoplay. Unless you have some setting on your computer that immediately stops it from playing, the videos are going to start playing. Usually there's a little introduction to kind of introduce you to the topic itself, what's going to go on, and then it starts to go into the videos themselves. Now you can see that you can skip back 10 seconds, skip forward 10 seconds. There's also the next, which will jump videos. You can see how long they are. And then you have your playback speed if you want to add captions, your general settings. So that's going to be kind of, usually with settings on a video like this, it's going to be your video quality. You have your volume, and then of course you can go full screen. Over here on the left, you can click out. This is your contents. You can click out of the contents, which will close this. You can come in here, you can tag completed videos. You can do this. You click on it like that to just go to another video if you would like. It also tells you like the topic, so the general one, this one's going to be serving your customers. That's your first main topic. And these are all your little individual videos for the subtopics, and you can see how long each individual video is. But you can jump around your videos that way by just kind of clicking through. You can also share, and you can add to your content if you want to up here at the top. And then below the video, which I think is extremely helpful, is information about the instructors, about the videos themselves. So this one is about the course details because, again, this is a course, not individual video. You can see that it is made by Madecraft as well as the instructor Elaine Harris. You can click on this to show all instructors, so there you go. You can see any related courses as you scroll down. Sometimes these are going to be just related topic-wise. Other times it's going to be things that have been done by the same author. You can actually find this author on LinkedIn if you want to. So again, you have your overview, the course details, kind of what's going on. You can show any certificates that may be related to this course. You have a notebook, so you can take notes as you are going. And then this is what I actually find really handy, is that they have a transcript. So that's why you can actually get captions on there as well. But if maybe for some reason you do better reading than viewing, there is a transcript for you to go and look at, which I think is extremely helpful. So that is kind of LinkedIn Learning for Library in a very brief nutshell. There's all kinds of stuff in here. I really, really encourage you to go and look for things. So again, we'll go ahead and click on this one just so you can see this. This is another.
Hi, I'm Nick Haraz.
Hey there, class. Sorry about that. Didn't get it stopped in time. Like I said, they do autoplay, so don't forget that. But anytime you click on a class, that's how you can kind of quickly get into it. This is actually I picked a good one. I wanted to show you this before I pull out of here and go to the end. Some classes are going to have exercise files or other related files, so keep an eye on this related to the course and see what's there. So if there are exercise files, it's usually going to be a zip that you can download, and it could be PDFs, could be Word docs, could be any number of things to kind of help you work through those particular skills that the video or the course is trying to teach you, which is extremely helpful. You can see that this is probably huge, a ton of documents, if that's a zip file and it's already that big. So keep that in mind. There may be a lot of helpful exercises and things for you to work through in those areas. And for real this time, that is LinkedIn Learning for Libraries. Alrighty, I hope you enjoyed LinkedIn Learning for Library. It is an extremely awesome resource. You can find all kinds of information. It is great for learning new career-based skills and also just learning new general skills, actually. You don't have to just be doing it for career reasons. It is just a fabulous resource and, of course, free. So go out there, learn all the cool new things. If you enjoyed this video, would love it if you would join us for our future videos. We do premiere a new video every Tuesday at 2, every Wednesday at 1, and every Friday at 1. You can find us on both Facebook and YouTube. Just search for MCPL Mo on YouTube. And then on Facebook, we are MCPL 360. You can find all of our new video premieres on both of those platforms, as well as all of our older videos. And I thank you for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.